about getting people's attention? Because I think we already have it.
Do it. Whatever.
Okay. This is by the notes. If I could get everyone's attention, we'd love to begin the show now. Greetings, everyone. My name is Kenzie Frenzy, and against my better judgment, I've accepted the role of being the announcer for this evening's show. People of Longmont, tonight is a very special night. Thank you for joining us. Before we get to the show, it is my duty to read you the following official disclaimer. The show is generally intended for adult audiences. The views and opinions stated in this show by Andy Epler or his guests are not necessarily, and almost definitely not, the opinion of Left Hand Brewing Company, the City of Longmont, the community at large, or small, or really anyone except Mr. Epler himself. And if you know Mr. Epler, this next statement will be no surprise. Andy Epler is his own problem, not yours. Any complaints about the content of the show should be directed towards him. Thank you. Now, live from Left Hand Brewing Company in Longmont, Colorado, it's Longmont Tonight. And here's your host, Andy
Boy, that was so much better than Tim did last week. He wouldn't mind us saying. No, he tried to be funny, and Tim's hilarious. We love Tim. He tried to do an Ira Glass impression, and I don't even know. I don't think I was hip enough to get the joke, and I think I was not alone. And I was listening to the recording. He bailed out of it about 20, 30 seconds in. And I fucking feel for him. You know, I know how it feels to die in front of all your friends. I do it regularly. That's what this show's about. Tonight, we're just recording the audio. We usually got lights and stuff. Peter Garland, everybody knows Peter. Can we put our hands together for Peter real quick? Peter's super essential in my life. He says yes to all of my stupid ideas. And this being a real stupid one among them. But he shows up in the films every week. It feels a little less intimidating to me not being filmed in the same way, you know? Even though I can see I'm being filmed in two different ways. Somehow, I feel a little more relaxed in this atmosphere. So maybe we should just switch to audio. But I feel like, you know what I feel like? I feel like I should come clean about something about this show. I've not been entirely honest in doing this show, and I just want to address it because I'm an honest dude. You know, you're all my friends, you know me. Yeah, I abhor a lie. But I've been dishonest in this show. Every week, for 2 weeks now, I've been reading advertisers for this show. And we don't have any advertisers, and we have never had any advertisers. So there isn't a Windsor Easter Bunny hatchery. I know, and I felt my joy, my jokes and shit don't have to come from a dark, dishonest place, and I was doing it. I thought it'd be cute to do fake ads because you've seen me host a bunch of events by now, and I usually have to read ads. It's like a normal part of what I do. Oh, Left Hand Brewing. Oh, Samples World Bistro. Oh, East Moon. You know, all the regular kind of things you see me do. So I wanted to do like this meta joke, and so I made up fake local businesses, and it's been weighing on me, and now that I'm not being filmed by Peter and all the lights and shit, I feel like I can open up about that. This show, we're not making any money from this. There were no advertisers, and I'm sorry. And I know that my integrity is worth more than some cheap joke at a show. And I just don't want you guys to think that I am untrustworthy. And so I'm sorry. And I hope that you can forgive me. Do you forgive me this grave thing trespassed against you, you know? Of course, but I do have this one advertiser for this show. Now, this is a real one. This one's a super real one. You guys, this one's a super real one. No, it's not like the other time. And I know that I lied to you about this. And I know that the wounds are fresh. And I just hope that you can find your way to trust me again. And that this ad can be the start of a new relationship between us. Can we start over fresh? Can I just start in a fresh, clean place?
Yeah!
Do you trust me again?
Yeah! Come on, everybody. Can we trust the man?
This is an ad for a local company, a really beautiful local company. And it's called Toby's Pest Removal and Massage Services. No, this is
Go hand in hand, right?
this is a real one. This is a real one. Baby, this is a real one. It's not like last time. Trained in the fine mystical arts of animal trance hypnosis, Toby is able to put animals into a trance that draws them into him. He uses tools like specially blended musks and erotic dance to lure squirrels, raccoons, foxes, rabbits, and all manner of other pests. I had Toby to my house. Toby's a real person who lives here in town. He used to go to Sky Brewing all the time. Maybe he's on. I had Toby come to my house. We had a raccoon problem, and 20 minutes went by. I came back outside. All of the raccoons had been lured into a small cage, and Toby was already cleaning all of the peanut butter off of his genitals by the time I got out there. Would recommend. Okay? If you'd like Toby's contact information, I have it. That's our only advertiser, because I'm turning over a new leaf. Last week's secret word, I always try and tell you the week after what the secret word was, if no one says it. Last week's secret word was phlebotomist. Phlebotomist. It's a good word, it's a shame it didn't come up. Phlebotomist, as in the sentence, Regina the elephant looked down with her wise, old, unforgetting, ancient emerald eyes, which had recorded every moment of her long life in the freedom of the jungle into her database-like memory, and which had cried many a happy tear over the beauty of the sunsets and the graceless violence of nature, and reached out with her old but still strong trunk to grasp a small stick, which had caught her eye, and she used it to write shapes in the dirt, which eventually seemed to onlookers to spell the word phlebotomist. Phlebotomist. Thank you very much. That's all the housekeeping announcements I have for this week. Let's get our first guest up here.
Ladies and gentlemen, he's a fixture in the Boulder music scene. As a guest sound engineer, recording artist, songwriter, and all-around nice fella, please join me in welcoming Brandon Hagen.
This guy's really good. You're really good.
He's really good.
He's really good.
Hi,
Andy.
How you doing, Brandon?
Way good, man. How are you?
Dude, I'm doing very well. I'm sorry that this is the first time we've hung out in months.
I know. Me too.
Not that let me rephrase. I'm not sorry that we are now hanging out.
Oh.
After all those months.
Thanks for clarifying.
Insinuating that those were purposeful months of avoiding you.
Yeah, I definitely didn't avoid you either, so.
I don't know the sign language, and that's okay. Last time we hung out was at your house,
Yeah.
and we were listening to some of the new things you're recording. Are you allowed to talk about any of that stuff?
Yes, I have zero. The government shut down right now. I can talk about a lot of stuff.
Wonderful.
Yeah, nobody's coming to check me out, bro.
I didn't know that's how it worked, but I'm so relieved.
Yeah, I think the marshals are off too, so it's all fair game. Shoot whatever you guys want. Just don't tell them I told you that.
I'm going pheasant hunting tonight. So what kinds of stuff are you recording in the studio? Now, tell us about Studio Alfred.
So Studio Alfred is this home studio project like no other that I've gotten the chance to do. So I live in a house in Boulder, South Boulder. The house I live in was my grandparents' house. They moved in there in 1962. And my grandfather lived there until he passed away September of 2017. My grandfather's name is Walter Alfred Weirs, but he'd always point to the A in his name when he'd sign it and go, Walter A. Weirs, and he'd sign it and he'd go, that A is very important. It means Alfred. But he never explained why. Just said it was important.
Was that like a Norm Macdonald style joke?
I think so, but I don't think my grandpa ever knew how funny he was. Like, he was hilarious, but like, it was just kind of like old man funny, where he was just like, he just was that way, and it was hilarious because of it.
Old man funny happens to be my specialty as well.
That's why we get along, man. So the studio is it's an interactive studio where we have there's a pair of cameras on either side of a wall, so you can see into the tracking room while being outside of the room. And some of the projects we've already done, we've had we've had house shows. We've had 3 house shows so far in 2018, and yeah, we haven't had any yet this year. And I was showing you some of my stuff from last year that I was working on, stuff that I've been meaning to release and haven't done it. You know, it's really intimidating to have you come over.
No.
Yeah, because like I have like a song that I'm like, here's like one of my last songs that I've been working on. It's from like April. And you're like, yeah, let me show you one of my last songs. It's from this morning. And then I'll see another post on Facebook and I'll be like, oh, what's Andy doing? Oh, he's in the middle of a visual art display while like, you know, advocating for the community while like mixing audio while smoking a second joint. Like, I have no idea how you can possibly do. But that's what I'm saying. At only the second joint, like, it's like the 20-yard line. Like, he just picked up the catch and he's only to the 20-yard line in the second joint. That's my interpretation of Andy Epler's given work day. He's got a lot of running to do and he's going to run all the way. So you come over and I'm like, let me show you some of this stuff. And then I'm like, I'm still at the 1-yard line.
But we got pretty stoned that day.
It happened.
That was good.
As long as, are any of my employers out here?
We celebrated art. And by we, I mean the royal we. Me and I, my soul and I, got stoned as fuck at Brandon's place. And then we listened to tunes. We listened to several tunes. And you actually have a duet that you play with live, right?
Yeah. Clone Manor. Actually, the next show we have is in Longmont.
Clone Manor?
Klone Manor.
I thought I was thinking CLONE, like Spider-Man Clone Saga.
When we put the idea together, so my bandmate and I have been friends. Our families have known each other all of our lives. So
what's your friend's name?
My friend's name is Christopher Stephen Lindsay Jones.
What is his social security number?
It's XXXYYZZZZ.
It's the same as my Nana's.
Yes. So our dads were actually best friends since the 70s. They went to CU Boulder together in the 70s. And would pursue, they go see Dead shows together, and they go hiking together, and they were great friends. And they spent time living in a house together on the hill in Boulder. It was at Lincoln and College, and they called the house Clone Manor. So when we picked up this idea to play music together, I was like, hey, why don't we pick up this name? Our dads used to like party at this place, and it was like, yes, game on. And we wrote it out like Clone Manor with a C, right? And then we're telling Steve Jones, Chris's dad, we're like, we're gonna do Clone Manor. He's like, don't forget the K. And I'm like, what? This just got even better. What?
Yeah, I like a misspelled band name that always appeals to me. I always like it when you put like a $ sign or like a Z in that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? It's like the ideal band name has like a Z and a $ sign somewhere in it.
Would you just like go ahead and add a Z instead of an S at the end of plural words like phlebotomist?
Phlebotomist is a tricky spell. I just thought of it as a joke, and I suppose going for the F in the first, that was completely wrong.
P-H-L-E-G, right? Phlegm? It's like phlegm, right?
No, it's not like phlegm at all. It's like Flebo.
Flebo?
Flebo.
Flebo. Tim Flebo?
Flebotomist.
Flebotomist.
Yeah, you know Flebo? Flebotomist?
Yeah.
I just had lunch with him the other day.
Yeah.
He's a hobbit. It's a hobbit name. It's a total hobbit name. Whatever. Brandon, I'm about to interview Shannon in a dress
Yes.
very soon. I'm a little
I see
nervous.
that.
What
I got
should
nervous
I
for you.
ask her?
What'd she do?
Like, what thing do I not know about Shanna that I should ask her about that would lead to an interesting, exchange of some kind?
Well, you can. So her stage name is Shanna in a dress, and you could ask her if that's all.
I'm sure she wears sweatpants on the weekends. I've never seen her in anything but a dress. But I think that there are sweatpants. I think that there's probably like a onesie in the mix somewhere. Let me ask you this. If Shanna wore a onesie, what animal would it be?
Ooh, that's good.
Because you're a good friend of hers.
What would the animal?
Yeah, what's her onesie spirit animal? That's what I'm asking. This is a good question to ask about your friends.
Is there a way that a zebra can have like a cheetah print? Can you do both? Like if the cheetah eats the zebra and then like adopts its zebra qualities, but then retains its cheetah overlay?
The Chibra.
A chebra.
Yeah, I think
Have you ever had those chebra chews?
A what?
Sorry.
Chibra what?
Chebra chews, bro.
cheetah zebra.
I'm an overachiever. That's what I have. That's what I have to deal with in my life.
Because I'm gonna have her answer that same question about you
Yeah.
right now. Because now we're gonna bring up Shannon.
Do I sit down? Am I done?
No, you stay right.
I stay right here. Oh my gosh.
Don't move.
Don't move. There's snipers.
She's an artist, an entrepreneur who's become a community favorite because of her amazing songwriting, sense of humor, and how hard she works. Please welcome Shanna in a dress,
and a sweater, and boots, and knee-high socks.
That's a
Cheetah
list.
onesie.
But no onesie.
No onesie.
Cheetah zebra onesie. What did you think of that answer?
I thought it was pretty creative.
Creative. Did you feel like it was
Accurate?
accurate?
No.
Is that your spirit animal? The cheetah?
So before we answer what it would be for you, what do you think Brandon's spirit animal onesie is?
Possum.
A possum. He's nodding thoughtfully,
Yeah.
digesting.
Play
his
dead.
Taking
emotions.
it. I'm
Play
just
dead.
taking it. Living up to it. Just
That's
taking
what a
it.
fucking slothy, slutty thing would say. You said sloth or slut? Sloth?
Yeah.
Both, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Slovenly.
What do you think the answer is for you?
Oh, I would be a monkey.
Oh, really? What kind? Like a cute little, like a ha ha hoo hoo. Let me put the little grinding organ. Or is it the kind that gets out of the zoo and rips out the old lady's eyes and shit?
Definitely the ha-ha hoo-hoo kind. But my favorite kind of monkey is a pygmy marmoset. They're really cute.
Tell us all about them.
They're really small.
Okay. How small? Small? Like as big as your
Like
hand?
you could hold it in your hand.
If you tried to crush it, is it small enough to crush, or is it like a bulky animal?
I bet you could crush it.
I'm crushing you.
That's
But
what
I
I
don't
would
want
think.
to.
If you can carry an animal in your hand, the first thing you gotta wonder is like, how strong is the animal itself? You know what I mean?
I've never held one, so I don't actually know.
And to be fair, I've never crushed a small animal to death in my hands, but I
You're
can
missing out.
certainly picture it just like we all are right now. That's so sad. I can't believe it. Was it little bunny from the crate from the other episodes? How sad. Shanna, you recently did a winning campaign to fund your album.
Throwing away the questions, huh?
That wasn't the questions. That was
Okay.
the ad and the sentence for the phlebotomist. Because I couldn't memorize that run-on sentence. When did you? That was a few months back, right?
Yeah, it was.
Was that in the fall of
It was
last
in the
year?
summer.
Okay. Jesus, time flies. What is the update on your album and your songs you're recording in the world?
Ooh. The update is that the producer that I thought I was going to work with, I'm no longer going to work with, and now I'm looking for another one.
Right on. It's all part of the system.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah. Want to talk more about the campaign?
Sure, I want to talk about anything you want to talk about.
It's more interesting than the album.
Okay. Tell me how much you raised in how much time. And then let's all drool.
So I set the goal to be 10,000, and
10,000s?
10,000 American dollars.
Oh, you got it in dollars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then I think in the first week in the first 2 days I had 5,000.
$5?
In the first
5,000.
2, I think that's correct. In the
People
first
must
2
be
days I got
excited
5,000.
for your art.
It was awesome.
Your kickoff show was
And
incredible.
then we reached 10K halfway through my month-long campaign, and at the month mark, it was at 21.
That's a lot of cash, man. Brandon and I don't have that kind of cash.
No, I don't, because I
So
contributed
nice.
to that, so I don't.
Thanks for the 21K, Brandon.
Wow, it was it. It was me.
A little side tangent. The other day, Brandon and I are hanging out. This is some time ago. And we're complaining about not having any money. And Brandon says, I got a new idea for a job I'm going to try. I'm going to try being a male prostitute. And I said, Brandon, that's strange. You know, it's mostly men that are the customers. You're not even homosexual. And he says, well, guys, got to make $1 or whatever. Well, great, whatever. No judgment. So a couple weeks later, I see Brandon, and he comes in and to the house. We're smoking a jet. And he's like, hey, man, I'm buying dinner tonight. I can't believe it. Because we're both poor dudes. I told Brandon, like, yo, you don't have to buy me dinner. And he says, no, I made a lot of money yesterday at my new job, I said, really? He said, yeah, I'm going out doing, tricks, whatever you call them. Okay. And so I said, that's interesting. And he said, yeah, I made $450.05. I said, oh my God, that's a lot of money. $450.05. Who paid you 5 cents? He said, every single one of them. If you do the math on that, it's something like 9,001 whatevers.
I just basically gave up on sitting for a week.
It's a true story, just like the ads. Sorry to distract from our interview, Shanna, I know.
I don't think that was distracting.
Good.
Let's definitely continue discussing male prostitution.
It's frowned upon by the law, but it's necessary to society. It's a tricky question. Much like drug legalization, it's more of a health issue than a community problem.
You'd rather have people be high than not, because it would be healthier for the community for them to stay high.
Yeah.
So what if they were just edgy and worked up?
I'm an entrepreneur myself, and I've got the supply, but I'm running into a demand problem with the male prostitution thing. All the supply in the world, more than I need, and no demand at all, as it turns out. Very little. So it's been tough to turn a penny, even 5 cents at a time.
You could ask my family for advice.
Really? Is your family into that kind of stuff?
They're all whores.
Oh, of course. Should we explain that joke?
I don't think you should. I think you should just let it ride.
I think we should. I think we're in charge of this joke.
Well, Brandon told you earlier you should ask about if I'm Shanna in a dress, and if that's all.
Yeah,
and
what
I
is
know
that?
what you were actually asking, but I'm going to politician curve that one to what I want to answer.
Very good. Good.
Wonderful.
True American.
Yeah,
Very patriotic.
I learned it.
How you do that is you say, when I go around America, I see ... You just say whatever the fuck you want.
Pork rinds.
Is that how they answer questions?
Yes, ma'am.
I don't watch enough politics to know.
My first episode had a politician in it of this show. He's a good dude, and he didn't really answer shit that way, but most of the time when I interview politicians, it's like,
They do.
I'm sorry, you were saying about...
I was just saying I'm a whore, and so is everyone else in my family. And
A riddle.
a riddle. It's not really. But
It sounds like a note to Batman, It sounds like, hey, Caped Crusader, everyone in my family is a whore, but we're all, monogamists. And he and the boy wonder are trapped as the gas flows into the room, and shit like that. No?
I'm with you. You're right.
It's all right, Batman. I'm a phlebotomist. I can administer the antidote. Phlebotomist is someone who can give injections. Did you know?
I considered being a phlebotomist as a job at one time.
Jesus, I'm so glad. All right. Okay. Oh my God. Okay, here's my first question.
Whores and phlebotomists.
Did you want to get in that? Because here's why I would get into it. Maybe I'm projecting. I'd want to tell everybody that I was a phlebotomist, and then I put the bottom in phlebotomist.
I never considered that.
That
That's
is
not
really-
why I was drawn to the field.
Phlebotomist? I'm a bottomist, ma'am. That kind of thing. I'd be saying that kind of shit all the time. I might still say that. It's pretty easy to become a phlebotomist, I think. It's like a couple
I think that's
classes.
probably why I wanted to be one.
That or a locksmith or whatever else is on the commercial.
Is that also easy to do?
Yeah, apparently being
So
a
drawing
locksmith.
blood and opening people's locks is easy to learn?
It's essentially the same thing.
Man, this is screwing with what I thought was actually like an important pair of things to know in life.
No, they're both pointless. Okay, well, let me back into this question. When you decided, I think I want to be a phlebotomist, what appealed to you about that? It's tough as fuck to spell. You have to explain to everybody what it is. You gotta work around that bottom joke every single time you talk to a motherfucker like me. What is that about it?
Well, first of all, the spelling would be no issue because I'm an amazing speller.
Really?
It's like probably my number one skill in life.
So I had phlebotomist printed on that sheet, and we could test your spelling ability. But I'm not
I
gonna
don't
put a
think that would be
friend
very
on
fun
the spot.
since
No.
I know how to spell it.
I'm not gonna put you on the spot, but I'm gonna subtly hint that that's bullshit. I'm not gonna call you a liar.
Put her on the
Obviously,
spot.
no, we're sensitive about lying in this episode. If you'll recall, we're sensitive about lying because I had to call myself out for lying. I could not spell phlebotomist, and I sat at the computer and guessed at it for a long time before I let spell check tell me that there was a PH in the beginning. I'm an idiot.
I think I could spell phlebotomist backward.
I wadded that shit up too
Alright.
soon. I never think that I wadded up my notes too soon. For the finale of this show, for the reason that everybody is going to clap so incredibly hard, especially if she gets it wrong. And we'll know mostly from my facial expressions, I imagine. Phlebotomist. Your word is phlebotomist. Would you like it in a sentence?
Yes.
The phlebotomist examined my botomist. I'll have Brandon check your spelling. He seems smarter than me just at a glance.
I'm actually a little nervous right now.
Are you nervous? No, look. All right, well, first let's agree. Ladies and gentlemen, is this a safe space for a little friendly misspelling? Christ, backwards! Backwards!
Are you saying it's a friendly
Safe.
miss?
C-A-T.
Alright, ready?
You know?
Is she perspiring?
Phlebotomist.
Phlebotomist.
Backwards.
Backwards. Wait, are you spelling?
T-S-I.
Are we going?
M-O-T. O-B. E. Shit, it's O. O, it was an O.
Okay.
I didn't say E. B. E. L-H-P.
That whole EO thing was confusing.
From the top. We have time to sit through another spelling in this show. That's the level of entertainment I'm offering.
Alright, from the top.
From the back of the word, I suppose. Take it from the
Phlebotomist.
back.
T-S-I-M.
You give us a thumb up. and double tap it.
O-T-O-B. What word am I spelling?
Botanist.
Bottomist.
Botanist.
Please.
like bottomist, then I'm done.
Botanist is one who bottoms.
I think I have a few friends who do that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still going.
Phlebotomist.
What was the last letter I said?
B from the word phlebotomist.
ELHP.
Wow! And you thought you were coming to some silly show where you wouldn't learn anything. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for our guests. Thank you very much for coming out to this show. We'll see you again another time.